I lost a lot of hope when I was going through what I went through.
I was scared to sleep at night. I slept with a dresser behind the door the last couple of months in my own home.
He told me, if you're at home, you and the kids are at home, when I get home, I will kill all of you.
He had a gun. He suffocated me so that he could try to, I guess, shoot himself, and he probably was gonna shoot me also.
She put her hand on my knee and she says, Mom, if he kills you, who's gonna take care of us?
AVDA stands for Aid to Victims of Domestic Abuse. The point and purpose of this organization is to serve people and really address the needs of domestic abuse, but we have 3 prongs in the way that we actually try to affect that. The first is to empower the victims. The second one is to basically hold the abuser accountable. And the third is to educate the community.
I think it's important for people to realize how common abuse is and not to assume that given a person's profession or education level that it couldn't be happening to them. Because obviously I was a medical student, and a lot of people would never have imagined that I would fall into an abusive relationship. I was intelligent and I knew what I was doing with my life. I was a hard worker, but it can happen to anyone.
We tend to think about domestic abuse on the spectrum of someone just got hurt physically, but there's so many facets to abuse.
I thought abuse had to be black and blue. I didn't know it had to do with the financial control and the name calling, the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse.
Leaving an abusive situation is difficult enough already, but it's also extremely costly. It really requires an attorney to help you navigate the complex legal system, often getting a divorce, making sure that your assets and your safety is protected. Without AVDA and their legal services, a lot of people could end up right back where they were.
That afternoon, after he had rearranged my face, I went to the hospital, and they called the police officer that came in. The 2 police officers interviewed me. They asked me if I was going to press charges, and then the younger one then said to me, do you want to leave him? Are you going to leave him, or are you going to go back? And I said, I can't afford to divorce him. He handed me an AVDA card, and he said, call these people, call this organization. They will help you financially break away from this abuse, and it won't cost you anything. And that's what rung the bell. I said, oh, it's not going to cost anything. I can do this. This is doable.
Many times at the core of domestic abuse is the issue of economic abuse, and the fact that the person who is the perpetrator typically has control over the economic situation of the other person who is the victim. And being able to intervene in that way really gives a person access to independence.
From experience, I know it's hard to take that big first step. AVDA was very patient with me, very patient with me.
Everybody wanted to help. What can we do? What can we do? How can we help? I want to be free of him legally, completely. I want to be free of him. I want a divorce. I can't afford it. And they said, we'll help you do that.
I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't had AVDA, because I was a full-time student at the time. I was living off of student loans. I was already in probably over $100,000 worth of debt for my student loans, so I really did not have any resources to pay an attorney. I don't know if my career would have turned out the same at all if I hadn't found them.
We've been around for 40 years, and over that 40-year period, we've helped thousands of people. We also have a very important program called the BIP program. BIP is Battering Intervention Prevention Program, where we're actually doing psychoeducation and holding abusers accountable through that method. We have also the Community Awareness and Prevention Program, and that is our effort to educate adults about the issue of domestic abuse while also doing prevention work toward focusing on youth and helping them to have an understanding about what a healthy relationship looks like and what it is. What we do is the kind of service that transforms lives.
Not only did they help me find a great counselor, besides that, everything was a phone call away.
AVDA is growing, and we're doing the kind of work that we need to be doing in multiple communities. We started in one county, And now we're in 8 counties. And the future is such that we will make our impact on many, many other communities over the next several years. And we know that there's a need out there that's bigger than where we currently are. And our intent is to be wherever we can be of service to as many people as we can possibly touch.
They've been with me every step of the way, not only financially, but emotionally, they've helped me to cope.
My children's future is going to be very happy. My children's future is healthy.
We were no longer under an abuser. That was the biggest thing. We were able to think and grow and live our lives without any kind of fear.
I'm so grateful to them because I would never have been able to reach this point in my career without that support.
My daughters, they became great people.
Call AVDA, get the help you need. You don't have to suffer in silence. There is help, there is hope.
AVDA.
End abuse.
Begin again.